We all know hardware prices just keep going up. But you know what keeps going down? The price of awesome gaming monitors, because now we've got Alienware's new AW2726DM, and this guy, you know, I'm telling you guys right out of the gate, it's a 27-inch 1440p QD-OLED gaming monitor. It's only $350. There's a catch. Couple of big ones even that we're gonna absolutely show you and talk about, but I don't think they're that big of a deal, especially when the price is this low. So what do you actually get? Well, you definitely get a cheapo stand. It is your typical, like, you know, screw it in from the bottom, but like there's no support columns. I'll talk about it more as I connect them, but yeah, not the best stand and base experience I've ever had. You get some cables. We've got our HDMI cable. It is 2.1, but it's 2.1 TDMS, and that means we are going to be limited to 120 hertz over the HDMI cable. Not the end of the world if you're using it for console gaming, but keep that in mind when you're hooking this up to your computer. Instead, you want to use your DisplayPort cable. Oh baby, because this is going to give you a full 240 hertz at 1440p, and it's long enough because it's not UHBR20. And then we've got good old C13 power cable. So I don't see a brick, so it looks like we're gonna be plugging in directly. That's cool. We've got an Allen key / Phillips head combo thing with 4 screws that I'm guessing I'm gonna have to screw the monitor into something, maybe the stand? Let's find out. Oh yeah, and you know, warranty card, it's got a 3-year warranty. Warranty includes OLED image retention, which is great. And then we have our panel. So one of the first things is those screws are absolutely for the stand and to screw into the monitor, kind of like a vase mount. So no easy click-clack, pull it out of the box today. Basically, every way that Dell Alienware could cheap out to make this thing cheaper, they've done it here. Yeah, even the stand feels like hollow and cheap. It's all just plastic. And it rotates on the base. It doesn't rotate on this here, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so this goes into here and then down. I mean, that's totally fine. But without those columns, you know, I gotta hold it a little tighter just to make sure it stays nice and lined up. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm sure it's solid, but one more thing to be annoyed about. But yeah, you see these screw holes on the back? We gotta pop those on like that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's definitely a pretty basic stand. Honestly, the rotation, like, doesn't even work really well. Like with the weight of the monitor, like I don't even think I'm rotating the disc on the bottom. I think I'm literally just spinning the monitor the way I want to. It does, of course, still have plenty of height adjustment, which is pretty important. Will it pivot? It will. It's not easy because the stand is so not good. But yeah, and it goes both ways. Not the most pleasing experience, and getting it into position is probably going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but you know, once it's there, you just leave it there for forever, and then it's fine. Another thing that I'm going to mention before I start kind of looking at this and evaluating it is we do know that this is probably a 2nd gen QD-OLED panel. Because of that, there's going to be a few things, like it probably looks magenta. Also, surface hardness, it's going to scratch really easily, so be careful. You know, you just want to buy this thing once. You don't want to buy like 3 of them because you scratched it by mistake. But let's not talk about the panel. Let's talk about how we've got our navigation nub in here. Probably also works as a power button. And then that's it for buttons. And we've got some I/O on the bottom that I'll show you in a second here. Now that I've got the monitor down to show you the I/O, I just took a look at the stand, and it definitely looks like the base feet are taller than the spinning disc here. Maybe remove these pads? I don't know. I don't think you should do that, but yeah, definitely too tall for this guy. Another place that they're saving a bit of money is the I/O, because all we're getting is power and then 2 HDMI ports and a DisplayPort port. Oh, and a little headphone jack. Absolutely no USB or anything. But who cares? Plug your USB peripherals into your computer because you're gaming. You're not working. You know, it's fine. And I almost missed our Kensington lock. They did include one. Well, we know they've cheaped out a bit on some of the hardware, but have they cheaped out on the panel? Let's find out after this word from our sponsor.
Nothing helps you unwind after a long day of work, quite like getting behind the wheel of a 1910s battleship and letting some missiles rip. Which is why you should check out War Thunder, one of the most comprehensive vehicle combat games you've ever laid your peepers on. There's thousands of planes, ships, tanks, and more for you to take control of as you immerse yourself in epic PvP battles. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile using the links below. Are you new to the game or returning after 6 months? You'll get a massive bonus pack on PC and consoles packed with vehicles, boosters, and more. Claim your bonus and start playing today.
I'm gonna adjust my monitor a bit here first, but I just wanted to say again, I love how low this thing gets. It drives me nuts when I get a height adjustable stand and it only goes down to like here. Am I gonna move it all the way down to the bottom? Probably not. But do I like having that as an option? I sure do. Everything was just plug and play, worked real easy. Let's turn HDR on, because it does HDR, it's OLED. However, the one thing that you're really not getting is you're not getting a 1000 nits peak brightness display. SDR, we maxed out around 200 nits, and then HDR, we maxed out around 400 nits. Windows is actually pretty close here on the peak brightness label that they've got in HDR mode. And I just wanted to point out that light perception is logarithmic, and so like 1000 nits isn't going to look twice as bright as 500 nits. This is 400, it's a little lower than that, but would it be nice? Absolutely. Is it going to make your games look bad? No, not at all. You're still getting a ton of other benefits from OLED or QD-OLED panels specifically. So let's play some Forza. You know, I've been playing this a lot at home on my nice HDR monitor, and yeah, it's not gonna pop quite as much, but like, you're still getting a lot of benefits from OLED. Like instant motion pixel response times. You're also just getting really good dynamic range. Like, yeah, it's not as bright as HDR can go, but it's still HDR because your pixels are gonna be hitting actual black, and you can turn them on per pixel when you wanna drive brightness to like certain pinpoints in the scene. Let's see, what have we got? Sorry guys, it's actually kind of hard to reach. So that's actually my first complaint is it's not just down here, it's up. So you're like really reaching to use it. But it seems pretty. Also, the navigation nubbin is like not my favorite at all. But you know, you've got a bunch of preset modes like standard, FPS, blah, 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 game enhance mode. Yeah, this is actually not the easiest navigation nubbin to use at all. Not a whole lot here. It does have a bunch of the OLED panel maintenance stuff like pixel refresh. Actually, that's all it's got. It's got pixel refresh and self-diagnostic, which is handy. And you can factory reset it. And that's about it. Does it even tell me what firmware it's on? Well, you get what you pay for. I don't know how many times I have to repeat this. It's only $350, which I know still is a good amount of money for a gaming monitor. But don't forget that like 350 bucks used to buy you like 1440p, 27 inches, but like 165 hertz and IPS. Now you're getting OLED and 240 hertz. It's a no-brainer. I don't know, I think it's a great deal. But the thing about games is that like, you know, if this isn't color accurate, I'm not really gonna know because it's just Forza. So let's take a look at some of our content. I gotta say, in HDR, like, it's not perfect. I think we measured a Delta E ITP average of about 20 with a max of closer to 28 or 30. That's like, not that bad. And this looks great to me. Like, is it perfect? No. But if I didn't know the results, I'd probably look at this and say, yeah, that looks pretty good. Because even the results aren't that bad. And then when we tested SDR, it's a little worse. Like with a QD-OLED panel, I was really hoping for, you know, Delta E under 2. We didn't quite get that. When we tested against sRGB, not ideal. When we tested against P3, a little better. So like, yes, it's not under the coveted 2, where it's indiscernible to the human eye, but like 3, it's still really good. And so I think that there's just, I don't know, like, yeah, of course it's not amazing. It's not the perfect monitor, but $350. I can't get over how good this price is. When I looked at those two ASUS monitors, the QD-OLED and the WOLED one, the WOLED with the pure brightness boost, like, yeah, obviously next to each other, that's the one I wanted. But those were both like $500 to $600. So at that point, if I'm paying the same, sure, I'll take that. But to get a massive discount to lose some brightness, I will take that deal. Yeah, I really can't get over just how solid it is for the price. And while our color accuracy isn't, you know, amazing, on top of it being good, you're still getting really good color gamut coverage, because with QD-OLED and that quantum dot layer, we're hitting like 80+% BT 2020. I'm pretty sure what's going on is they've basically grabbed all of their cheaper B-stock panels that maybe didn't quite meet, you know, their requirements. Like, hey, they've got to be Delta E average of 2 or less, and they've got to hit a certain brightness that we're just not going to hit here. Oh my God, I'm going to die to these zombies. And then they've taken those kind of B-stock panels and taken like the cheapest stands that they probably just had in inventory. Am I 100% sure of that? No, but Is it probably, you know, what happened? I'm willing to bet yes. Is it going to be my next gaming monitor? No, I already have one that's better than this. But could it be your next gaming monitor? Could you finally buy an OLED for like what you would have bought a gaming monitor for like just a few years ago? Yeah, you really can, and it's awesome. There you have it. Alienware, you've done it again with the AW2726DM. If you want to take a look at how this all started, check out the LTT where me and Linus unboxed the AW3423DW. Fantastic display, curved ultra wide, not for everyone. 27-inch, 1440p, non-curved, kind of for everyone.